Give me a second.
Hockey, yeah.
My favorite.
It's Judd's Hockey Show.
And welcome into Judd's Hockey Show. Training camp time is nearing. We're getting closer and closer, but still not there yet. So we continue to make it up on the fly as the Wild does basically nothing because the rest of the National Hockey League is doing basically nothing. It's Judd, it's Declan. And Declan, I am going to unveil a surprise episode for you. I've come up with an idea on the fly. It's very fitting. But before I do that, I want to talk about our friends at Power Lodge and Miller Marine. And this August, they invite you to celebrate with Power Lodge as they hit a major milestone. That's 25 years of bringing action and excitement to Minnesota as your go-to destination for all things marine and power sports. To say thanks, each of their locations will host a Community Appreciation Day. Look at that on the water. Join Power Lodge in Brainerd, Ramsey, Onamia, or Sauk Rapids for great food, amazing prices, prizes, giveaways, and unbeatable special pricing. For grand prizes, they will be raffling off a variety of Polaris ATVs and snowmobiles. That's right. Winter is closing in, but not yet. Check out powerlodge.com for event dates and look at that. Get out before it freezes. Get out on those lakes, which are absolutely gorgeous right now. We're still in for some 90-degree days. Enjoy the Bennington. Enjoy your time on the water, thanks to Power Lodge and Miller Marine. And of course, when you go to make that major purchase, tell them that the guys from Judd's Hockey Show and SKOR North sent you. All right. So here is today's assignment on the fly because it's Wednesday.
Pop quiz, kind of.
Well, it is. You're going to have to think fast here.
Okay.
I want to embark on, we can each do 3 to 5. Write that down. On a Write That Down Wednesday, off the top of your head, I want to do Wild, or if you want, you can certainly go outside and do National Hockey League Write That Downs for the upcoming season. They can come off the board quickly. They can come off the board at the end of the season. But I say we do 3 to 5 each Write That Downs because it's a Write That Down Wednesday. It seems very appropriate. And right now, it's a blank canvas, baby. It's a blank canvas. We got time to come up with stuff. Do you accept the challenge of a Write That Down Wednesday on Judd's Hockey Show?
Yes. Yes, I do accept the challenge of a Write That Down Wednesday. So I can give you some Write That Down. So let's we said 3.
3 to 5. 3 to 5. You can do 5. You can do 5. You can do 3. I think that we should track them. Okay. So I definitely think that we should keep track. You can start, but if you want to stop at 3, that's fine. 4, that's fine. Maximum 5, I think.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's do this. I can give you some. Let me see if I can actually. Let's see if maybe this little NHL TNT bed, maybe.
Oh, nice.
Little hockey bed there as we get these Write That Down predictions. I do love this one.
Brian Boucher, but by the way, leaving ESPN to take the Keith Jones role as the third guy between the benches on TNT.
Okay.
So it's going to be Phil's favorite guy, Kenny Albert, Eddie Olczyk in the booth, and Brian Boucher between the benches.
All right, man. Let's write this down. I'll go with this first one here. I like this impromptu here, so no research, no time to think about this. This is all gut feelings, right?
0, and it can be anything that you want involving the team or, again, the league.
Okay, write this down, Judd Zolgad. Write this one down. Joel Eriksson-Ek. He has a career high of 26 goals. That came in the 21-22 season. Last year, 23 goals. This year, write this down, Joel Eriksson-Ek will reach the 30-goal mark. 30 goals. He takes even a bigger step forward. Step forward for Joel Eriksson-Ek. 30 goals in a season for Joel Eriksson-Ek. Write that down.
Oh, I didn't see that coming.
No.
So 30 goals.
Yep.
So wait. If you think that, do you think he ends up on the Kaprizov line with Zuccarello probably? I mean, 30 goals is a big season.
I would guess that yes, because of that he'd probably do that. He'll be playing with Boldy maybe potentially a lot too, which could work. But I think in theory, having Zuccarello, Kaprizov around him is probably more likely of how he could get to that plateau. So, yes, it probably would be on the top line, but he could probably also do it with Matt Boldy on one of his flanks, too.
Okay.
How about that one? What do you got?
That's a ballsy one, to quote the old 1500 ESPN tagline. That was very ballsy. Okay, I'm going to start with a write that down, sort of off the beaten track, and it's going to be a parlay. Write that down. When the Arizona Coyotes play the Wild at the X, Matt Dumba will get no less than a 90-second tribute video. Welcome back. Encapsulating his play, but they'll also show him doing community work.
At least 90 seconds?
At least 90 seconds. But I'm not done yet. And then he will get a standing ovation. And I think that we can all confirm, like I don't mean a lot of clapping. I don't mean a couple of folks stand up. I mean, the building will rise. The building will rise as one. So a parlay here, at least 90 seconds, which won't be surprising, I don't think, at all. But more importantly, he will get a standing ovation, which, by the way, with these, a lot of guys don't. Like they get, this. I'm talking this. I'm talking standing up.
Wow.
Standing ovation,
I will say, I know you're struggling in traditional, right? This is the layup of all layups for write that down. This is a layup of all
I want to get on the record.
layups.
Oh, yeah.
This is the layup
of
all layups.
You know what? Dump and chase, baby. Dump and chase.
All right. Next one for me. Write this down. Let's go this route. I'm going to stay on the goal themes. Matt Boldy will score 40 goals this season. Matt Boldy will reach the 40 goal threshold. I'm gonna buy some goals here. Wow. I'm gonna buy some goals. Listen, on the Wheel of Fortune, I like to buy a vowel. I'd like to buy some goals.
70 goals from two guys. So how many does Kirill get?
Oh, Kirill, I mean, maybe stick around for another edition to write that down. You'll see how much he finishes with, potentially. But for me, I will say 40. He had 31 last year. He has 46 in 128 games. That's a pretty healthy goal rate. 1.2 back-to-back seasons. That's pretty healthy for he's basically scoring a goal every 60 minutes. So he will reach the 40-goal campaign this year. I'm going to buy some more goals. Matt Boldy, 40-goal season.
Okay. Write this down. Ryan Hartman will... I'm trying to think of how best to phrase this. Ryan Hartman will be in a bottom six role. He will not be... I think he'll start the season first line center, okay? I think he will be in a bottom six role by January.
Okay, well, we have to quantify this in a very unique way.
Exactly.
So you're going to have to make this either like, I would say average time of ice, like can't be over a threshold. I would also say most common teammates would have to be a different, like that would be the two ways to quantify
Can you
this
track
the best.
The ladder? Most common line mates?
Yes, I can track the ladder on Natural Stat Trick. Yep.
Okay, let's go with that then. Let's go with
bottom
that.
Six roll.
And it'll be bottom six guys. So he will play. So if you can track that on Natural Stat Trick, let's do that because that seems fair. Because I'm just trying to say I don't think he is going to play the whole season or a lot of it on that top line.
No, I'm with you. I'm not a big Ryan Hartman fan either. I was trying to figure out a way to do this. You know what? I'll say this. How about this? Write this down. Ryan Hartman will be traded at some point from the Wild.
Okay.
That'll be my third. Write that down. I'll go 5, by the way. We'll do the 5 here.
Oh, yeah. There's plenty of meat on this bone.
On our production meeting. That's my third one. Ryan Hartman will be traded. Will be traded in season at some point this year. Write it down.
All right.
Write this down. On the fly. It's great.
Write this down. Well, I've got different ones just like scurrying about my brain.
Sure.
Brock Faber will lead Wild defenseman in plus minus.
Ooh, okay.
Brock Faber will lead, and I know that there's some folks that don't like that stat now, but it is indicative of something, right? Brock Faber will lead Wild defenseman in plus minus, which would be pretty good considering like Spurgeon, considering Brodin. So the young man who I actually like a lot, I think he's going to be a really good pro, the leader in plus minus. Write that down. You like to write things down.
All right, I'll go with this one next year. Let's write this down. Let's go with the Kirill Kaprizov prediction here, because Kirill has been obviously phenomenal. He's been their superstar. It goes without being said. I'm going to pull up his stats here as I want the actual quantifiableness of this write that down prediction before I give it to you, Judd. So he has played 203 NHL games. His career high in goals is 47. His career high in points that came the same year at 108. And in the Hart Trophy race, he finished 7th. So write this down. Kirill Kaprizov will be top 3 in Hart Trophy voting.
Nice.
Go with that. Yep. So he's never finished higher than, I believe this is right, his second year, he was 7th. He won the Calder Trophy his first year. Last year, he was 17th. He actually fell down a little bit because he missed some time towards the end of the year. But he will finish top 3 in Hart Trophy voting. Write it down.
All right. Here's my 4th. Write that down. Heck, we could go more than 5 apiece at the rate we're going. Marco Rossi will score 15 or more goals for the Wild. I don't want to get too excited, but my God, he has to play. And I think if he plays and is given a realistic chance, he'll score some goals. So let's go with a reasonable stat. I think 15 is a reasonable expectation. 15 or more goals for Marco Rossi.
All right. I haven't given a goaltending prediction. I am the goaltending whisperer after all on this show.
I was waiting for you to predict that Gustavsson's GAA will be like 6.78 in December.
All right. I want to quantify this in, again, a very specific way. So last year, he had to have led the league in this. So GSAA, it's kind of more of an advanced metric. It's goals saved above average. According to Hockey Reference, it's the goalie that's prevented given his save percentage and shots faced versus league average save percentage on the same number of shots. So basically, he is saving 30. Last year, he saved 31 shots above league average. The year before that, he was negative 8.6.
Okay.
So huge swing from a below average goalie in Ottawa, which was not a great circumstance. So I give him that. But last year, he was one of the best goalies in the entire NHL in this statistic. I will say it goes back to normal. Filip Gustavsson will have a GSAA of negative proportions next year.
Wow.
He will regress hard. His GSAA will be negative.
Wow. Okay.
So that means as long as it's negative 0.1 is literally the way that I have to quantify. Because if he's neutral 0, that means he's just an average goalie.
Right.
But I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is and say he will have a negative GSAA.
How'd you hate goaltenders so much?
I don't hate them. I just I don't fall in love with them because I know what they do. You know, they're like that guy in the club. You know, the guy or the gal in the club.
You know what's weird about that? Your loyalty to Vikings kicker Greg Joseph is so strong, and yet goaltenders and kickers are very much alike. Very much. Like, you don't trust goaltenders, but you trust Greg Joseph, and Greg Joseph could go in the toilet absolutely because kickers go. Look, kickers are the same way, right?
Yeah.
Aside from Justin Tucker. The majority of kickers are up and down and up and down. All right, I will give off of your prediction. I will piggyback it and give one that I think I talked about a couple of weeks ago, but of course I didn't commit it to the write that down that we're doing right now. Jesper Wallstedt will play in 10 or more regular season games for the Wild this coming season. So I think there's a pretty much an expectation across the board that the Wild wants to give him another season in Iowa. Mm-hmm. And he definitely will not start the season here. But if Gustavsson struggles, especially to what you're saying, Flower can't just like step in and play all those games. Jesper Wallstedt also, he got off to a rough start at Iowa in his first year in North America last season, but then he sort of got it going, and he is 100% the goaltender of the future for this team. And so I'm going to give him 10 or more games in the regular season in 2022-23.
Okay, I like that. I think we stick to our 5 here. I think we just stick to our 5, if that's cool with you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Although you ripped my Dumble one, and I thought that was very fair. He's going to get a standing ovation. He's going to get a standing ovation. Those guys ordinarily don't get standing ovations.
I'm going to broach this. I'm going to broach this to the one's hockey whisperer, and he's going to 100% write this down. He will agree with Dex tweets that this is a layup of all layups for Judd Zolgad.
Charlie Coyle got a video, no standing ovation. They almost forgot about Eric Stahl. Eric Stahl came back a year after he left, and they almost forgot about the damn thing because they're supposed to fire it up right after the first stoppage. Ryan Suter told them not to do it, and they still did.
It's true. Judd, before we go here, I don't think we touched on this. This was last week from Corey Pronman of The Athletic. He does the prospect rankings. The Wild coming at number 10 in the NHL pipeline rankings for 2023. Now, you'll remember, I believe, just a few years ago.
Number
I don't think
one.
it was 2022 they were 8, and I believe in 2021 they were number 1. So let's look at the top prospects here. We have Matt Boldy as the number 1, which I don't really understand why he's here. I think he should be graduated from the prospect list.
He's on the list?
Yeah, he's number 1.
Okay, that's super weird. He's not a prospect anymore.
Agreed. I don't think he should be on there. Anyway, he's number 1. Marco Rossi is number 2, naturally.
Yeah.
Jesper Wallstedt, number 3. Charlie Stramel, the recent draft pick by the Wild, who some people thought was a reach, is number 4. He was the 21st pick in the NHL draft. He'll be at Wisconsin this year. Might be able to see a little Big Ten hockey down the road from us if we want to go see that as well. Number 5, Daniil Yurov. Forget how to pronounce this name.
Yeah,
I know
he's
Jesse did a big feature on him.
Big time prospect.
Number 6 is Brock Faber. So Brock Faber checks in at number 6.
That's low.
All right, and what's this one? The 7th is Merit. Is it Kuznetsov?
I have to. No, you know what? I don't think it's pronounced anything like it's spelled.
Nice.
I saw him in the World Juniors a couple of years ago. He looked like a stud. When they can get him from the KHL, I think he's going to be damn good. And my guess is long term, he's Kaprizov's center.
Well, and with those Russian prospects, it's just so hard to project because when are they ever going to come over, right? They could be can't miss prospects, but they could be buried in Russia for a very long time. Number 8 is Caden Bankier. I don't know where Bankier comes from. He was on Canada's U20 team though in a limited role. Last year. Liam Ogren, the 19th pick in last year's draft for the Wild, checks in at number 9, and then Carson Lambos checks in the number 26th pick in the Wild's draft in 2021. Rounding out the list, there's a few here. Adam Beckman, who's I can't tell, is probably just more of an AHL quad A player, as they like to say. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he could be something. He's probably produced everything he can at an AHL level. Riley Heights, another one. Jack Pert is a number 1. He was a 54th pick in the Wild's draft. But yeah, little prospect ranking. So they have, and this is what happens, right? I mean, you go from number 1. Guys start to graduate a little bit off this list. Some start to hit their ceilings.
Yeah.
Some you're waiting to develop a little bit more, but now they're 10th for prospect rankings.
Boldy being on that list makes 0 sense, and I think Brock is too low because he should be on that list, but I don't think he should be. What did you say? He's 6 or 7?
Yeah.
So, and look, I mean, this is the group. There's a bunch of names that you just rattled off. This is the group that is going to be, as they come out of the cap hell in a couple of years, these are the guys that are going to carry them. Because I mean, I would expect that that the goaltender is here next season, right? I would think he's here. I would think he's your opening night goaltender in 2020, 24, 25. So this is but I mean, this is how you're going to do it. This is how you're going because you're not going to go out again and free agents. I think that Bill Guerin, when he has the opportunity, will supplement it. But like that core group is the core group that's going to be absolutely essential. If this team is to make a cup run in a couple of years, and I think that there's going to be a point in time where there is at least a window open to make a deep playoff run, the names that you just read are going to have to be an absolutely key part, or a bunch of them are.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's in general, it's going to be an interesting prospect group to watch because at this point, I mean, what else do they have left to accomplish? I mean, Marco Rossi has to get a chance here. Notice Adam Beckman, he had a really good training camp, 2 training camps ago? And we even thought he might even make the opening night roster. Yeah. Because he performed so well, and they didn't. So, yeah, I'm curious how it all kind of works out for them. But, all right, we got write that down predictions. We have prospect rankings. Another good episode of Judd's Hockey Show here.
Absolutely awesome. Who's gone then? Zuccarello's gone, like in a couple of years. Zuccarello's gone. Hartman's gone.
How about this? Because I was going to suggest this for a Judd's Hockey Show episode. Next Judd's Hockey Show, maybe with our friend Jesse Pierce. Who's playing their last season with the Wild? Who's in their last tenure with the Wild?
You're singing my tune. Nobody likes to. Nobody likes to cut guys and trade them more than me.
That's true.
To which you and Phil are like, "You're so mean." I was like, "No, I'm not. I mean, it's professional sports. Move on."
It's time to.
I love that idea. I love that idea. All right.
Hit the subscribe button for Daily Minnesota Sports Entertainment. This has been Judd's Hockey Show, and we'll be back next week. Pass, shoot, score.